Hello everyone and welcome back to another very exciting chess game from the chess history from 1993. So in this chess game we have Estonian chess grandmaster Lembit Oll and his opponent was Z Azmaiparashvili. So Azmaiparashvili he is a Georgian chess grandmaster. His peak rating was 2702 and Lembit Oll was also one of the leading chess players at the time. So this chess game features some very beautiful tactical touches and I think you have to see this chess game. It is a fantastic chess game. So Lembit Oll starts the game with e4. We have the Sicilian defense and we are going to the Richter-Rauser variation. So queen to d2, a6, castling from the queen side, f3 and rook over king to b1 and bishop to e7, h4, knight to e5 and basically Oll is planning to play pawn storm in the king side. So we have g4, b5, bishop to d3, developing the bishop and black is also castled. So bishop to e3 and then king to h8 and simply h5. So rook to c7 and then g5, pawn storm in the king side. So kicking the knight back and then f4 it is. So knight forks queen and the bishop, so capturing the knight, rook takes on c4. So basically black is attacking from the queen side and naturally white wants to open some lines in the king side. So this is why we see this pawn storm. f5, the pawns are marching full steam ahead and then we have b4, so attacking the knight and knight goes back, a normal move, and we have e5 allowing f6 and both pieces is under attack. So white is attacking the bishop, black is attacking the knight. In this position black played bishop takes on f6. Let's take it back. What happens if capturing the knight? This was the idea probably of Lembit Oll, not capturing the bishop but f takes on g7. After king takes on g7, bishop takes check and after normal very tempting f6, then rook over lining the rook with the king. So if king to f7, then we have g6 and extricating yourself in this position is very difficult. So g7 and then rook up and black is in big trouble actually in this position. So after f6 we have bishop takes on f6 and g takes on f6 and then knight takes on f6 and black is losing material actually. So black is a piece down. If capturing the knight we still have getting in with the pawn and then rook check, and according to the computer chess engine black is not going to survive this. So the king safety has been compromised terribly in that position. So knight takes and then h6 undermining the king's safety. So closing, pushing the pawn, and even if capturing this knight, bishop takes is going to pin this knight and it is going to be very difficult to defend. So queen to d3 attacking the rook. We have queen to c7 defending the rook and activating the queen. So b3 attacking the rook, rook back and then knight to f3 saving the knight. But even if black would capture the knight, then bishop takes is going to be very dangerous. So rook goes back in this position. After knight back the bishop is attacking the rook. So rook goes back and then bishop to g5 attacking the knight. So we have d5 defending the knight with the rook but simply capturing the pawn and then bishop to f5, so attacking the queen and after moving the queen landing on c2 is the idea of Azmaiparashvili. Well, actually this is the critical moment of this chess game, one of the most critical and interesting moments of this chess game. And Lembit Oll, who was actually known as a very strong chess player, a very talented chess player, unfortunately he had a very sad life story. He died at a very young age. I will get back to that later, but he was a very talented chess player, so he made his calculations and he decided to sacrifice his queen. What a move. And what else? Bishop takes queen, and this is incredible. In between move, bishop takes on f6. After moving the king, you haven't seen anything yet. In this position, Lembit Oll didn't capture the bishop. This is the coolest move in this chess game so far. Knight takes on e5. What a move and what a move. Sacrificing the piece. So after bishop takes on e2, rook to d7, getting in with the rook and attacking the queen. So what else? Black has to defend the queen and it is white to move. Can you guess the next move of Lembit Oll? Can you see what was his plan? What did he saw in his mind's eye? So in this position, it is white to move, and white has a very important winning move in this position. So if I give you a few seconds, can you guess that move? What would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? If you want, you can also pause the video and try to guess the next move of Lembit Oll, the Estonian chess legend who died very young. I will get back to there again at the end of the video. Okay, so I hope you have seen knight takes on g6. So this is what Lembit Oll played, and this was a bone-crushing move. What a move, a lightning strike. And if not capturing the knight, let's say if playing some random move, let's say queen takes pawn, I mean, doesn't make any sense, let's say pushing the pawn, then knight to e7 is going to be checkmate. So we have rook over, making room for the king, but of course, we are going to check out what happens if capturing the knight, then h7, checkmate. Amazing. And if f takes on g6, if capturing the knight with the f pawn, then rook to g7, okay, this is not getting mated immediately, but this is the only move, and this is losing the queen and more. So this is check, what else? Capturing the bishop, and then capturing the queen, and threatening checkmate, rook to b8. So black has to play rook to f8, and then c7, and thank you for the game, this is game over. White is easily winning. So rook is coming to b8. This is just game over. Okay, so in this position, knight takes on g6 was a very strong move. And we have rook over, making room for the king. And then bishop to d4. So attacking the queen, and then queen to b5. If capturing the pawn, then knight to e7, forking the king and the queen, and this is all over. So we have rook over, and then bishop to d4. So after defending the queen, knight to e7, king over, and then rook to g1, and threatening checkmate. So f6, making room for the king, we have check, and then capturing the rook. Actually, there is no good defense, so pushing the pawn is the only defense. And then bishop to g4, but a very cool move, knight to f5. We have king to g6, that's check, and also blocking the bishop. If king to e6, then knight to g7 is getting checkmated. So knight to f5, king to g6, but this is also losing, c7, and Azmaiparashvili resigned. This is all over. Thank you for the game. The pawn is going to become a queen. The possible continuation, I mean, queen takes on d7, and then promoting the queen, bishop takes, queen takes, bishop takes, well, white is a rook up, and it is all over. And what an incredible, amazing attacking chess game by Lembit Oll. One of the most beautiful attacking chess games that I have ever seen in my life. Actually, I'm not exaggerating. So, and also the queen sacrifice by Lembit Oll was fantastic, amazing. So I hope you have seen some of the key moves. And before signing out, so this was basically an immortal chess game by Lembit Oll. Let me tell you his life story, what happened to him. So he died at a very young age, as I said. So this is his picture. Mr. Oll, who was married and he had 2 sons, he fell into depression after his divorce and loss of child custody. He had received mental health treatment since 1996 and was prescribed antidepressants. He unfortunately committed suicide on 16th of May 1999 by jumping out of a window of his 4th floor apartment in Tallinn. Despite his personal problems, he was number 42 on the FIDE world rankings at the time of his death. He was buried at the Metsäkalmistu cemetery in Tallinn, not far away from the most famous Estonian chess player Paul Keres. So this was the very sad life story of Lembit Oll. Unfortunately, he has committed suicide at a very young age because of his depression. Well, what can you say? Unfortunately, things like that happens in life, So he died in 1999. It was a very long time ago. But he was very talented. Basically, he was at the top 50 at the time of his death, despite his personal problems, his psychological problems. And he was getting some treatment, but unfortunately, maybe he was a little bit too sensitive and a fragile, emotional person, who knows. Okay, so this is his picture, and I have another very interesting and a very nice picture of Lembit Oll. So this is another picture of him, and for people who likes Mikhail Tal, for the Mikhail Tal fans, well, actually, if I have to pick one chess player as my favorite chess player of all times, that would be Mikhail Tal, probably. So you probably recognize that messy hair, even though his back is turned against us. That's Mikhail Tal himself, and you can even read his name at the right. So you can read Mikhail Tal in right bottom, and that's Lembit Oll in front of Mikhail Tal. They played, according to Chess Games database, they played for about 4 chess games, and Lembit Oll is also famous because of his a terrible loss against Mikhail Tal. Mikhail Tal destroyed him in one of their chess games with his attacking style. But Tal defeated Oll 2 times, and they drew, I think, 1 time or 2 times or something, if I'm not mistaken. And then Lembit Oll also defeated Mikhail Tal once. So in this picture, I think Oll is a teenager or something like that. He looks very young. Okay, so that's Mikhail Tal himself in front of Lembit Oll. A very nice picture. I'm sure you recognized Mikhail Tal's head and his messy hair. Probably he's also smoking, who knows. Okay, so you can see Lembit Oll is staring Mikhail Tal very seriously. Okay, so I think you should check out Lembit Oll's defeat against Mikhail Tal as well, an immortal chess game. So what do you think about this chess game? I think this was fantastic. So stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.